Welcome back, folks, and buckle up because we're diving right back into our musical journey across the Buckeye State. This is Drew, your resident vinyl enthusiast and explorer, coming at you from the fourth stop of our Moose migration. As you know, this isn't any old road trip. We're sponsored by Moose Vinyl, and our mission is simple but exhilarating. Visit every single record store in Ohio and revel in the rhythmic treasures each one holds. Today's expedition led us to a little haven nestled amidst the urban buzz of Columbus, Ohio Lost Weekend Records. This cozy vinyl sanctuary is situated conveniently on North High Street, just a stone's throw away from my best mate Taylor Brady's Studio 18 art gallery. Countless times I've meandered past this store, blissfully unaware of the musical feast it holds within its walls. Before we dive into my journey through the aisles of Lost Weekend, I'd be remiss not to mention how enriching and thrilling this vinyl voyage has been thus far. Each stop brings with it not only a plethora of new records to add to my swelling collection, but also a wealth of knowledge and perspectives from the owners, fellow patrons, and even my own musings. With every stop, with every spin of a new record, I feel like my understanding and appreciation of music and its influence on our lives is growing. It's been an adventure of the senses and the soul. Pulling up to Lost Weekend Records, I could barely contain my excitement. As my eyes took in the unassuming storefront, a thrill of anticipation sparked within me, ready to fan into a full-blown flame of musical discovery, and adding to this electric atmosphere was the sight of my buddy Rob, already there, poised with his camera, capturing the essence of the store through his talented lens. His passion for photography paired perfectly with our shared love for vinyl, making for an ideal companionship on this journey. Stepping into Lost Weekend Records, I was instantly captivated by its intimate vibe. Despite its smaller size compared to some of the other stores I've visited, it was far from lacking in terms of its musical offerings. Shelves were heaving with records, stacked high with the music of ages past and present, each one a tale in itself waiting to be heard. What struck me immediately was the attention to detail that went into the organization of these records. The custom artist labels adorning the stacks in their distinctive fonts were like music to my eyes. It was a feast of familiar icons, Kiss, Motley Crue, and the Rolling Stones, each label practically calling out to me to dig in and uncover the melodies they guarded. This visit to Lost Weekend Records marked a bit of a departure from my usual routine. Instead of my regular weekend trawl, I found myself venturing into this record haven on a Friday, around the time the lunch hour buzz was picking up. The experience was novel, to say the least. The weekday rhythm of the store was subtly different, humming with a quieter, more laid-back energy. Apart from a few fellow music enthusiasts who came and went, the store was ours to explore. Rob and I, in the company of Kyle, the owner of Lost Weekend, had free reign over the musical treasure trove. The sense of liberty and the freedom to let my curiosity dictate my pace was uniquely exhilarating. It was like stepping into an alternate universe, where time stood still, and the only thing that mattered was the journey through the symphony of sound that awaited discovery. This feeling, this intoxicating mix of tranquility and excitement, was akin to the serene joy of solitude combined with the giddy thrill of an Easter egg hunt. It was an opportunity to let my musical instincts run wild, to delve into each section, each genre, each artist at my leisure. The joy of having the space and freedom to bounce around the store, exploring every nook and cranny, hopping from one section to another at the slightest beckon of an intriguing album cover, or the whisper of a forgotten tune, was simply unparalleled. The first chapter of this expository journey through Lost Weekend Records wraps up here, with an anticipation and curiosity for the vinyl treasures that are yet to be discovered. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the musical adventure that was my first stop of the week at this charming Columbus store. I can't wait to tell you all about the vinyl gems I stumbled upon during this trip. As the exploration of Lost Weekend Records continued, I found myself being pulled towards the section labeled Soundtracks. Now, as a cinephile, I can't resist the allure of a good movie soundtrack. There's something about listening to the music that had accompanied a stirring scene or a passionate dialogue. It takes you right back to those moments and gives them a life beyond the screen. And true to its promise, this section didn't disappoint. Wedged between several other records, I spotted the soundtrack for Annie the Musical, a bargain at just $5. I felt a jolt of childlike excitement surge through me. Let's be real. Who can pass up the chance to own such a classic? I mean, you've got the iconic It's the Hard Knock Life and a whole lot more, all for the price of a fancy cup of joe. It's funny when I think back about my relationship with musicals. I used to dismiss them, claiming they weren't my cup of tea. But upon reflection, it dawned on me that so many of my beloved Disney movies are, in essence, musicals. The way music is seamlessly woven into the narrative, enhancing the storytelling and shaping the characters, it's truly magical. As a kid, I would watch Annie countless times, belting out the songs along with the characters. So stumbling upon this vinyl was like stumbling upon a cherished piece of my childhood. Not long after this delightful find, a conversation with Kyle, the owner of Lost Weekend, and my buddy Rob led me to my next vinyl gem, Rumours by Fleetwood Mac. We were discussing which Fleetwood Mac album should be my inaugural addition to the collection, and they unanimously suggested Rumours. It was an incredible coincidence since I'd recently rewatched the show High Fidelity, where Rumours features prominently in the first episode. Plus, a friend had sent me a behind-the-scenes video about the album just the day before. It was as if the universe was conspiring to bring Rumours and me together. As if guiding me through a treasure hunt, Kyle scouted for the album while I rummaged through the $1 records crate. And there, amidst a host of other records, I discovered His Hand in Mine by Elvis Presley. So, in one visit, I managed to snag vinyl records of Annie, Fleetwood Mac, and Elvis, a triumphant haul if you ask me. Finding the Annie soundtrack was an absolute joy. There's something inherently happy about the music from that movie, whether it's the hopeful notes of Tomorrow or the gritty determination of It's the Hard Knock Life. Every tune is a nugget of childhood nostalgia. It makes me chuckle to think that Jay-Z sampled Annie in his own rendition of Hard Knock Life. It's a testament to the timelessness of these songs, to their ability to resonate across generations and genres. It's like holding a piece of history in your hands, a piece that still pulses with life and relevance. As for the Elvis record, it held a personal significance. My grandmother was a die-hard Elvis fan, and her love for the king of rock and roll was infectious. Holding that record felt like a connection to her, a bond over shared love for music spanning generations. His Hand in Mine was Elvis's fifth studio album and the first of his 3 gospel albums. It reminded me of the many faces of Elvis, the rock star, the crooner, the gospel singer, and the many lives he touched with his music. But of the 3 records, it was Rumours by Fleetwood Mac that sparked the most excitement. It was a record that had made itself known to me in various ways over the week. Rob, with his keen insight, nailed the phenomenon perfectly when he said, "People who don't know Fleetwood Mac listen to that album and then they know Fleetwood Mac." Truer words were never spoken. As I played the record, I realized I knew every song even if I didn't know I knew them. The magic of Rumours is in its familiarity. The album is a compilation of chart toppers, each song a timeless classic. As the mesmerizing melodies of Fleetwood Mac's Rumours filled my space, I was magnetically pulled into their compelling world of music. It's a world carved out of a blend of chaos, personal turmoil, the breakdown of relationships, and life's uncertainties. Amid this disorder, however, they somehow birthed something truly remarkable, something transcendent that has echoed through the ages. Rumours. The artists behind Fleetwood Mac weren't just musicians. They were magicians who transformed their emotional whirlwinds into a musical masterpiece. The McVies, John and Christine, were weathering the storm of a civil divorce. Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks were embroiled in a rocky breakup. Despite these personal upheavals, they were crafting lyrical narratives about each other, and compellingly, performing harmoniously on those very songs, a truly intriguing dynamic that still fascinates listeners. Each song on Rumours is a raw emotional time capsule, capturing the tumultuous feelings and the emotional zeitgeist of its songwriter. These are not just songs. They are confessions, testimonies, stories of passion, heartbreak, despair, and hope, all woven into the fabric of melody and lyrics. Stevie Nicks' Dreams, Lindsey Buckingham's Go Your Own Way, Christine McVie's Songbird. Every song is an emotional journey that provides an insight into the complex world of these gifted artists. When you listen to Rumours, it's as though you're being granted an intimate peek into the band's innermost thoughts and feelings. It's like a private conversation unveiled. As the album played and replayed, I found myself discovering new layers of emotion and insight with each listen, and almost effortlessly, I found myself completely enamored by the magic of Fleetwood Mac. Before I knew it, I had joined the legion of fans who had found solace, resonance, and a piece of their own stories in the music of Fleetwood Mac. Switching gears, the third gem that I picked up from Lost Weekend was Elvis Presley's fifth studio album, His Hand in Mine. This album is a testament to the depth and versatility of Elvis's talent. Transitioning from the fiery intensity of rock and roll to the soulful depth of gospel music, Elvis demonstrated his profound understanding and love for music. The titular song, His Hand in Mine, originally performed by the Statesman Quartet in 1953, was masterfully covered by Elvis nearly 7 years later, thereby adding his distinct touch to the song. Owning this album isn't just about possessing a piece of music. It's about owning a fragment of music history. It's a testament to Elvis's journey as an artist and to his enduring legacy. But on a personal level, this album serves as a tribute to my beloved grandmother, an unabashed Elvis enthusiast. Holding this album connects me with her in a special way, her love for Elvis's music forming a bond that stretches across generations. These Elvis records, for me, aren't just pieces of vinyl embedded with music. They are vessels carrying cherished memories, family stories, and a legacy of shared musical tastes. Every album is a tribute to my grandmother and to the evergreen appeal of Elvis Presley. And every record I add to my burgeoning collection is a step closer to unraveling the magic that is Elvis. The spellbinding charisma and talent that rightfully crowned him the king of rock and roll. Looking back at my visit to Lost Weekend Records, I am awestruck by the treasures I unearthed. I walked in with an open mind, a thirst for exploration, and walked out cradling pieces of musical history. The soulful renditions of Fleetwood Mac, the powerhouse vocals of Elvis Presley, the nostalgic charm of Annie. I was privy to it all. I discovered new music, relived cherished memories, and forged meaningful connections with Kyle, with Rob, and most importantly, with the timeless beauty of music. Let me start by saying that if you ever find yourself in the heart of Columbus, Ohio, you'd be remiss if you didn't swing by Lost Weekend Records. Conveniently nestled right on North High Street, just a 5-minute saunter from my best buddy Taylor Brady's Studio 18 Art Gallery, this little record store is nothing short of a musical goldmine. Trust me, whether you're a seasoned vinyl collector or a newcomer to the scene, you'll find your heart skipping a beat as you step into this captivating world of music. And the man orchestrating this symphony of sounds, that would be the store's owner, the immensely passionate and knowledgeable Kyle. An absolute gem of a human, Kyle's love for vinyl is more than just a hobby, it's a way of life. It shines through every conversation, resonates in the music that fills the air, and is embedded in every record that adorns the store's shelves. He guides you through your musical journey with an infectious enthusiasm that makes each visit a delightful learning experience. You could be miles away, but Kyle's passion for music and vinyl and the unparalleled charm of Lost Weekend Records would still make it well worth a detour. From timeless classics by the legendary Beatles to the raw, explosive energy of modern pop icons like Billie Eilish, the store's music inventory is an incredible fusion of the old and the new, all encapsulated in the timeless allure of vinyl records. One person who shares my love for Lost Weekend Records is one of my dad's good friends, Shane. A die-hard record collector himself, Shane can't help but rave about his visits to this store, and really, who can blame him? Every visit is a chance to indulge in intriguing music-related conversations, uncover unique finds, and celebrate our shared adoration for music. The joy of holding a record in your hand, the thrill of hearing it play for the first time, the sense of discovery when you stumble upon a hidden gem. These are feelings only true vinyl enthusiasts can understand. And if you share this sentiment, Lost Weekend Records isn't just a store. It's a paradise waiting to be discovered. Looking back at this visit, I'm overwhelmed by how enriching it has been. Beyond the new records that I've added to my collection, I found myself immersed in a world of stories, history, and connections that extended well beyond the sphere of music. I formed relationships, I deepened my understanding of music, I basked in the beauty of vinyl, all in one single visit. As I prepared to leave Lost Weekend Records, I couldn't help but feel a sense of accomplishment. I'd ventured out on this journey with the aim to broaden my musical horizon, to connect with fellow vinyl enthusiasts, to unmask the hidden treasures that lay within Ohio's record stores. As I hold the albums I've acquired, the legendary Rumours by Fleetwood Mac, the charmingly nostalgic Annie soundtrack, and the soul-stirring His Hand in Mine by Elvis Presley, I can't help but feel a sense of fulfillment. Not only did I discover music in its most authentic, raw form, but I also found stories, experiences, and connections that have enriched me as a person. As I gear up for the next chapter of this moose migration, I'm brimming with anticipation and excitement. Who knows what musical gems await, what fascinating individuals I will meet, and what unforgettable memories I will create. Every stop is a new adventure, every record a new story waiting to be told. I can't wait to embark on the next journey and share it with all of you. Until then, let's not forget that music is more than an art form. It's a universal language that has the power to bring us together, to heal us, and to celebrate our shared human experience. So keep the music playing, and as always, let's keep the vinyl alive. Soundstripe. Well, folks, that brings us to the end of another episode of the Moose Review. Thank you for joining me, Drew, on this adventure through the wonderful world of vinyl records and the fascinating journey that is the Moose Migration. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to follow along on our adventure, or if you have a particular record or record store you'd like us to explore, don't be shy. Connect with us on our social media channels. We're Moose Vinyl on Instagram and Twitter. We'd love to hear your recommendations, whether it's a hidden gem of a record store in Ohio we should visit next, a vinyl that deserves some spotlight on our show, or anything music-related you'd like to share. You, our listeners, are the heartbeat of the Moose Review. Your support, your engagement, your passion for music, it's what fuels this journey. So, subscribe to our channels, hit us up with your thoughts and ideas, and let's keep the conversation going. Remember, your input could shape the future of our Moose Migration or inspire the next episode of the Moose Review. And of course, if you liked what you heard today, don't forget to spread the love. Share the podcast with fellow vinyl enthusiasts, music lovers, or anyone who'd appreciate a good story from the road. Once again, I'm Drew, your guide through the musical landscape, saying thank you for tuning in to the Moose Review. Until the next stop on our Moose Migration, keep the record spinning and the love for music thriving. Catch you on the flip side, folks.